Hello, book lovers of the internet. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe because for every subscriber, I get a new subscriber, and I also read a page from a book of my choice. So it's been a while since I last reviewed a graphic novel, and today that is what I am going to be doing. So if you click the like button, by the way, I will make another video when I get 10 likes. But in this video, I am going to be reviewing The Sandman by Neil Gaiman. This is the second volume, by the way. I have all of the books in the 30th anniversary edition collection. So this is the second one, called The Doll's House. It has about 230 pages, and it took me way longer than I thought it would for me to finish. But I really enjoyed it, and I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. So I think that this was brilliant overall, and the serial convention was fantastic, by the way. It took me a hot minute to grasp what serial truly referred to. Now, I don't want to be saying too much and spoil the story for you people, but it has to do with killing brutally for no particular reason. Um, Dream is an extremely powerful character and yet pretends, or apparently is, quite a humble one as well. He understands that he would not exist, much like his siblings wouldn't, without humans to think of him all the time. So, as you know, these characters, they are all concepts personified, and without people to think of them all the time, they would basically cease to exist. So, it is pretty important to me how Dream is apparently so humble, regardless of how strong he may be. Um, they're the real dolls and not the other way around. I suppose that is the whole metaphor going on. The dollhouse, are the people the dolls, or are the siblings the dolls, right? The 70 siblings, basically. Um, so this was less confusing than the first one. Now, I did not review the first one on my channel yet because I hadn't started taking YouTube seriously when I read that one. However, this was less confusing than the first one, as there seemed to be more of a storyline whereby the first one, called Nocturnes and Preludes, was just a bunch of stories put together to give us an inclination as to who the Sandman really is, where he resides, and what he can actually do. It's more of a character building, world building sort of story rather than an actual story put together. If you understand what I mean, he in this story, basically, it was more interesting because there were some nightmares he created, and these nightmares, who are also characters, were taking advantage of his absence. So when he was locked away, they tried to take advantage of this, and he put an end to their deception right away. Um, I was very sad to see how many kids were abused in this one, including Rose's younger brother. So Rose Walker is the protagonist over here. She is mentioned in a lot of the stories, and it's quite sad to see how many children were abused for money, particularly, or for pleasure. Quite horrible. But at the same time, these themes really made the story more intriguing. Made me wanted to read it even more. Basically, it's really cool to truly think of the fine line between reality and the imagination or the dreaming in this context. For instance, Rose's brother, when he was being abused, he would try to go to sleep as frequently as he could, so he could escape into a dream world where things were happier for him. So this fine line is something that really um, gets me thinking. I think it really spurs my imagination and my creativity. Some images reminded me of something the Nine Inch Nails band would put on a vinyl record cover. So I am going to see if I could find a couple of pictures to show you, just so you see what I mean. Take this one, for example, with all the skeletons over there. It is extremely weird, but at the same time, it looks very cool, very lifelike. It's not an illustration, it's more of a picture, rather. Something even Ransom Riggs would do in Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. It is creepy, it sent shivers down my spine, but in all the right ways. I am also very glad to see that Dream does not support pedophilia, and I would not expect less from such a great character as Dream is. He is a very understanding character, very just character as well. Um, Basically, there was this Dan Schneider ass looking character trying to take advantage of the protagonist, Rose Walker, sexually, of course, and Dream saved her from him. And he put the man in a dream state, more of a trance, I suppose. I am still shocked over how this one in particular ended, the entire thing. And I'm very glad to see that we got to see some of Dream's siblings as well in action. Um, it was very good to see them because we hadn't really seen much of them before, and I want to get to know all of them, all their intentions, all their abilities. It's also great how their speech bubbles are different. The stylistic choice to make the speech bubbles look different is pretty cool because um, you can basically tell who is chatting to who without having to look at the images. Just recognizing the font will tell you who the character is, and that is something that makes you look deeper into the story, even though there aren't any pictures involved. So, this is what my second dissertation chapter is mostly about, basically design choices, the imagination, and the way it is written, how evocative images are, and how text is used to do the same thing. So, I did not rate this one 5 stars because of how many characters are introduced and how little purpose they seem to serve. So, if you are going to introduce so many characters, at least try to keep up with all of them, juggle all of them. If you're not going to, just don't introduce them to begin with. I might see a couple of them in the coming volumes. Maybe it will all resolve very beautifully, but I've only read 2 of them so far, so I have a couple to go, another 9, I believe. Um, so I definitely do look forward to reading more, but anyway, that is all I had to say about Neil Gaiman's The Sandman. I made this video because I made it to 2,300 subscribers, so thank you so much for that. I appreciate it, and that's all I had to say about the second one. If you've read the entire series, let me know what you think of it in the comments section. If you haven't, I certainly recommend it. Give it a go. Let me know what you think of it. And as usual, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, that sort of stuff. Check out my other videos, and I'll see you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye, guys.